line as well. She joined.
And now to our next conversation. Nigeria's energy sector stands at a defining moment, balancing the urgent need for reliable power with a global push towards cleaner, sustainable sources. For over a decade, Nigeria Energy has been the leading platform connecting government, investors, and innovators in shaping that future. As the 2025 edition approaches, the spotlight is on collaboration, financing, and local innovation driving our energy transition. Joining me today is Mr. Ade Yesufu, who is Exhibition Director, Energy Portfolio for Middle East and Africa at Informa Markets, and the organizers of Nigeria Energy. Great to have you on the show, sir. Good morning.
Oh, buddy. It's a pleasure to be joining you this morning. Thanks for having me.
Fantastic. It's great to have you. So we see Nigeria Energy is, back for its 12th year now. For listeners who may not be familiar, can you paint a picture of what this event is and why it matters to everyday Nigerians struggling with power supply?
Thanks for a question. Nigeria Energy is West Africa's most influential energy exhibition and conference, and it's all about finding the practical solutions to Nigeria's power challenges. You see, every year, we bring together government leaders, investors, and innovators to tackle the issues behind unreliable electricity from generation, transmission, distribution, renewables, and off-grid systems. This year, we have over 8,500 professionals who will be meeting in Lagos on the 28th to the 30th of October at the Landmark Center in Victoria Island to share ideas, showcase new technologies, and unlock investment in power projects that can make a real difference to everyday Nigerians, helping them to build a more stable and sustainable electricity supply over time.
Right, and this year's theme is powering Nigeria through investment, innovation, and partnership, with investment, leading the conversation. Why is capital mobilization the starting point, for addressing Nigeria's power challenges, in your opinion? Because so far, a lot of investment has been made, so far, and we're not where we want to be yet.
Oh, absolutely. Even developed countries all around the world are still investing a lot of money in the power sector because without capital, even the best policies and technologies can't be implemented. So the Electricity Act of 2023 gave Nigeria a solid foundation, policy foundation, transforming that framework into a functioning infrastructure requires a large-scale investment. That's why this year at Nigerian Energy, we focus more on mobilizing private capital through public and private partnerships. Bankable projects are very, very critical, and clearer regulatory frameworks where we not just focus on talking about the challenges. We're bringing investors, regulators, and developers together to make deals happen, basically.
Now, you did mention the Electricity Act 2023 as a landmark reform for the sector. But, what real progress would you say has been made so far? And, how will the conference address the remaining gaps?
Well, the Electricity Act has changed the game by allowing states to generate and regulate power locally. We've seen states like Lagos, Ekiti, Kaduna developing frameworks for independent electricity markets, but implementing this framework is becoming uneven in some states, where you have some states who are racing ahead, others are still facing of finding their footing. That's why the Electricity Act in action is one of the key focus areas in this year's event, where you have policymakers, regulators, and private players who will sit down and assess progress, identity, bottlenecks, and share what's working. It's about turning policy into power.
Quite interesting, turning policy into power. But I know the conference is expecting over 8,500 participants, including government officials, private investors, technology providers. How does this conference, facilitate meaningful collaboration between stakeholders? Because we have a lot of conferences so far, and so many still coming up.
Yeah. Well, look, Nigerian Energy, you started with when you started this interview, it's been running for 12 years, and we've built Nigerian Energy as a platform where conversation leads to action. It's not a talk shop, and we've seen a lot of development in terms of local companies meeting with international manufacturers and growing their business locally. Beyond panels and speeches, we run a VIP hosted buyer program, which matches over 150 high-level decision makers, from investors to power project developers, for one-to-one business meetings. This structure really basically allows them to move discussions beyond theory. Government officials, or whether it's financiers or innovators, they engage directly on real projects. And that's how policies become partnerships, and partnerships become power plants. We're not doing just the PowerPoints. We are building tomorrow's power plants. That's what we want this conversation to lead into.
And I see the conference will explore, emerging areas like, hydrogen, energy, and grid digitization. How do these, future-focused topics, how do they align with Nigeria's immediate power reliability challenges?
Oh, great question. It's about building for tomorrow, and for today and for tomorrow. While hydrogen and grid digitalization might sound futuristic, they are part of a long-term strategy to improve reliability and efficiency. For example, we've had digital grids and can predict power system failures, which helps to reduce blackouts. Exploring hydrogen basically positions Nigeria to participate in the global clean energy economy, attracting new investments, because this is where funding is going into these days. It's clean energy. These innovations complement our immediate focus on decentralization and renewables. It ensures that the system we build today can sustain us for tomorrow.
All right. Now, you did mention the Electricity Act, enabling state-level power generation. You did mention Lagos and Ekiti states that are leading there. But what best practices are emerging so far, in your opinion?
So we've seen a strong momentum from Lagos, which has established a state electricity market framework. And you have also from Kaduna and Ekiti states, which are advancing independent power projects. Their success stories show the importance of clean regulations and stakeholder engagement, as well as financial planning. So at Nigerian Energy this year, we have state commissioners and regulators who will be sharing these models so that we don't need to reinvent the wheels. So states can replicate the best practices from this state that I mentioned. The idea basically is to accelerate reform nationwide, not just in a few regions. We want everywhere. We want every state to play, because this is the purpose. We're trying something new, from the old time to the new time. We need to ensure that whatever we're doing, we need to, it's an agile process. Whatever we're doing, if it's not working, we need to change it and see. New policies can help to change the status quo.
And from what you're seeing so far, are you seeing other states that have not really been pushing or pulling their weights? Do you see them actually coming up and taking advantage of this ability to generate your own power as a state?
So there is no template to this. It's just what it takes is basically government taking the whole of their resources and turning it around. There's been a lot of success stories from different countries, internationally, where we can use as case studies. I think most importantly, I think is a step in the right direction, because a lot of states are now looking to compete with each other, and that's what we need: competition. Competition in the sense that if a state is getting it right, others says they're going to be like, what are they doing right? We need to also jump on the train and develop our nation to be exciting for investors. Because all that matters right now is investor confidence.
I guess competition is good on all levels at this point.
Yeah.
But what specific opportunities,
Absolutely.
does Nigeria Energy 2025 present for, local businesses, developers, entrepreneurs in the energy sector?
So Nigeria Energy has been the place where Nigerian innovators meet with the world. Local businesses get an opportunity to pitch their projects to international investors from distribution, from distribution partnerships, and they can showcase their homegrown technologies. Last year, we launched the Energy X context that was a test which is for entrepreneurs, a live classroom. Through technical seminars, you can gain hands-on knowledge of the latest solutions. We've got many local exhibitors who started small. They've gone on to secure international contracts, and they've led solar projects across the country thanks to connections made at the Nigerian Energy.
And what are you seeing going forward? We have the next one coming up. What are you seeing? That's for the next edition.
Sorry, I'll ask you for a minute. Say that again?
Yeah, we have the next edition coming up. You've had over 11.
Yes.
You've had 11 editions, so far. Talk to me about some concrete projects.
Yes.
You've seen and, what we can expect going forward.
Oh, absolutely. That's a very good question. We've seen real results at the Nigerian Energy in the past 11 years that this event has been hosted. For instance, we've got local engineering firms that have partnered with global manufacturers. They met at Nigerian Energy, leading to contracts on renewable and gas-to-power projects. Some local solar developers who started as visitors are now building large-scale projects nationwide. So these success stories prove that the platform provides value by connecting the right people together. Nigerian Energy accelerates progress across energy value chain.
Now, what would you say is that one key outcome you'd like to see from this next edition that's coming up?
Key outcomes would be if we as organizers, if we leave Lagos this October, and with stronger alignment between investors, policymakers, and innovators, and with a few concrete projects commitments, for us, that's what success looks like. That's success for us. Our ultimate goal is to turn dialogue into deals, and deals into dependable power for Nigerians. That's the legacy we want Nigerian Energy 2025 to deliver.
And I guess 24-hour power in Nigeria.
It's not rocket science, man. It's doable.
It's doable. Fantastic.
It's doable.
Thank you so much. It was great having this conversation with you. Ade Yusufu is the Exhibition Director, Energy Portfolio at Informa Markets. Thank you so much for coming on Business Morning today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, we'll take a break now. When we come back, we check the state of manufacturing in Nigeria. We've had stable currency, inflation also in that downward trend. Let's hear now from the manufacturer. That's in a moment. Just stay with us.